honorable judges, distinguished guests, fellow contestants, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. How my optimism will help me press on to greater achievements of the future. My optimism is embodied in my entire personality. It makes me who I am today, the optimistic individual standing before you this morning. My optimism allows me to pass on a cheerful message to my peers and loved ones every day. Sometimes, I don't even have to speak. I can simply smile and brighten someone's day. My optimism allows me to have a brighter outlook on life. I can be positive about the social and economic state that the world is in today. And I can be hopeful that a favorable outcome will occur when I make the strong stance to abstain from sex, narcotics, and deviant behaviors. My optimism gives me the power to literally be in control. The power of optimism has an impact on everyone. Thus, there are many prominent role models I have heard about growing up. People like Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, and Rosa Parks. Change came about when these heroes became optimistic. Today, we live in a world where these noble persons' positive attitudes towards life revolutionize the world. I see the power of optimism and the amazing things that it can do. I had my entire life planned at 10 years old. I would be the owner of a huge charitable organization, a massive house, an expensive car, 3 children, and feeding the occasional stray cat. Around the tender age of 10, I was involved in a terrible accident. I broke my jaw and I lost a few teeth. But the physical aspect of this situation was minor compared to the emotional damage that I was faced with. The fear of dying gripped my spirit for a very long time. Anytime I was in a vehicle and I drove too quickly, a sudden fear would completely take over my body. I was so petrified that I refused to tell anyone what I was going through at that time. The accident kept replaying itself in my mind day after day, and all I wanted to do was forget about it. I told myself that if I just did not speak of the situation, it would all go away. But boy, was I mistaken. The fear of dying became a plague on my life and a stumbling block. And for the mere fact that I was not going to tell anyone how I was feeling, I decided I had to motivate myself. I had to be optimistic about every situation that I would be faced with in the future. I recognized my right. Ladies and gentlemen, I possess a power. I possess optimism. I am indebted to my own optimism because it is what had brought me thus far. And through this same optimism, I shall return this debt by sharing a positive message to the weak, to the poor, to the outcast, to a wayward youth. My optimism is the cure for the epidemic that plagues people, the epidemic of pessimism. My optimism will break the barriers of doubt and will help those who have been wrong. My dream is to see young people live more positive lives, to move beyond the pressures of society, to express their true self and to find their true worth. My optimism is so important to me because it allows me to express my passion to help those who suffer from sadness, who suffer from abuse, peer pressure, negativity. These are people who need someone to motivate them, to remind them of the passion they too can possess, and the spirit that they can possess, and that is optimism, and I am that person. My optimism has stirred up a passion in me to help assist others, like that old lady in my neighborhood who I chose to listen to while she recounted story after story of the good old days. The voluntary work I have done in my church, at the hospital, and the service club of my school all speak volumes of my willingness to let optimism prevail. I choose to have an optimistic spirit, to help encourage others to believe in themselves even when no one else will. Mr. Thomas Edison once said, "Man's greatest weakness lies in giving up." I will not give up. I will be strong. I vow to let others know that my optimism will help me press on to greater achievements of the future, and that they too can draw upon this same optimism to do the same. Thank you.